All right, good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is your daily eCom planning session. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. And if that's you, you have the opportunity to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session, and we'll get into that later. But first of all, I want to welcome you to the daily ecom planning session. Share this out with a friend. Let somebody else know about the daily ecom planning sessions that we have. We are live on Clubhouse. We're also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And as we get ready to go through today's reasons why patience is important, afterwards, we will get ready to go through the daily planning checklist. So, to get started, the first thing I invite you all to do is to go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group. When you go to the e-commerce planning Facebook group, go to the files section so that you can download the daily, weekly, and monthly e-com planning checklist. Gives you an opportunity to follow along after we go through the 6 reasons why you need to, why patience is important. And you need to have patience on this journey. So again, go download that so you'll be ready to go as we get ready to step through the daily ecom planning checklist. So with that, we're going to get into 6 reasons why patience is important. Now, this is not the only 6 reasons, of course, but these are 6 good reasons why. Because I think what happens on this journey is that we invest X number of hours and X whatever amount of time in our business. And sometimes we're not investing in the right things. Sometimes we should be investing that energy and time into something else. Or sometimes we're investing our time and energy and we're expecting everything to turn around like the lottery. Like we wake up tomorrow and we're a millionaire. That's not how any of this works. So we're going to talk about, the different reasons why patience on this journey is so important. So the first one, number one, is it helps you avoid hasty decisions. When you don't have patience, you make a lot of quick decisions. I was literally talking to my son about this last night, about just making quick decisions, reacting to things, lack of impulse control, just making a bunch of quick random decisions and not taking the time to really think through them. And so they are random. And when they don't work, you get frustrated, you get mad, and you're ready to quit. And all of those things happen when you just make decisions really, really quickly that aren't really thought through. Now, sometimes, I'm going to skip to number 6 as we go through this. We're comparing our results to somebody else. John Doe did it and he did these 5 things. So if I do these 5 things, it should work. Why is it not working? Well, there's probably a little bit more to John Doe's journey, or there might be some little pieces that you didn't fully execute well, you didn't think through, you didn't slow down and pay attention to. And so, again, don't compare your results to somebody else's. You got to get to the place where, hey, I'm going to make some decisions. I'm going to continue to grind in my business. And like the person that is digging or pining for gold or diamonds, and that picture, I forget where the name of the picture is, but there is a picture. You can Google it on Google, on the internet, where there's a guy that is digging, and he's almost there. And if he had just did one more, hit the dirt, dig one more time, he would have hit his pot of gold, his diamonds. But he gave up. He turned around and he gave up. So sometimes that patience is required in order for you to get to where you want to be. So just because you're grinding now doesn't mean you're going to be grinding all the time. Just because it's challenging now doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever. So, number 2 is it drives you to work smarter and not harder. That is the goal. That is the intention. Again, avoiding those quick decisions and actually work a little bit smarter in your business. Pay attention to why things don't work, reevaluate them. Maybe there was a different approach that you needed to take. Maybe you did some things out of order. Again, I had this conversation with my son last night. Like, in order for us to get the results that we want to get, sometimes we have to stop and think about what is the logical order in which things should be executed in order for us to get the result at the end. So it's kind of like, I don't know, if you think about it like making a sandwich, like you could start with the meat first, and then you try to put the mayo onto the meat, and then you try to, like, it's not going to it's going to be really weird. And that sandwich is probably not one that you're going to say you're going to eat because your fingers are covered in mayo and you're like, why didn't I just take the bread out first and put the mayo on one side of the bread? Like, there's reasons why things should be done in a specific order. Same thing with exercise or weight loss. When someone is trying to work on specific muscle groups, like if they're working on the wrong muscle group, they're pissed off about why they're not getting the results that they want. So again, you got to do things potentially in sequential order, well, most of the time in sequential order, where you get the biggest bang for your buck and you get the best results. So if you don't have patience, sometimes you don't do things in order and you're not getting the result and you get frustrated. So think through that. Maybe evaluate what you're doing to figure out what you potentially could be doing differently so it's not so hard. Making a sandwich and putting the mayo directly onto the meat first and then picking up the bread and then trying to put the bread onto the meat, like it's not fun and it's going to be nasty and you're going to be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And so it's the hard way to make a sandwich. Number 3, it helps you to be more resilient and to persevere. Perseverance on this journey, again, this isn't some people come into the e-commerce space and they think of it like winning the lottery. I'm gonna put some stuff up. I put like 3 listings up and tomorrow I'm gonna be a millionaire. No, that's not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna put 10 listings up and tomorrow I'm gonna be a millionaire. No, that's not how it happens. All right, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna get this stuff from this place that I found. They got some stuff really, really cheap, and I'm gonna list all of it. I'm gonna list these 50 things, and I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and they're all gonna sell. No, it's not how it happens. There's a process, as I said before. And again, if you do things out of order, it's not gonna work out. And so perseverance is the key. Being willing to sometimes start over or to feel like you're starting over in order to get to where you want to be. So I think the biggest thing is just to not think of this like winning the lottery, because this is not like winning the lottery. Resilience is important, and there's going to be setbacks. Oh my gosh, on this journey, there's going to be setbacks, especially on some platforms more than others. Oh my gosh, there's going to be frustrations and there's going to be obstacles, and it's going to require you to persevere through the challenges of selling on those platforms, or to figure out how you can get smarter in this journey. And is there a way to get around these platforms? So again, forces you to think through some stuff. Number 4, it increases your appreciation for the journey. Yeah, the journey. So when you get to that place where you feel like, I finally started making some progress in my business, I finally started getting some consistency, I started making some traction, I feel like I'm headed in the right direction, I'm making some progress. Not saying that there won't be continual bumps in the road. That is part of the journey, but it will help you appreciate the journey. There will be things that you learn, sometimes on purpose and sometimes by accident. Like, you know what? Because I was forced to do this thing, I actually learned how to XYZ. I learned how to deal with IP claims. I learned how to get ungated. I learned how to, whatever it happens to be, because of the obstacles that you had to go through. Now you know how to deal with that for the future. It can also help you in other areas of your journey as an e-commerce seller or other areas of your life just as a human, because this doesn't just apply to your e-commerce journey. This applies to different areas of your life that maybe you're running into some challenges there, or you don't have patience and you want instant results. One of the biggest examples is the stuff that we pray for to God. We pray for it and we wake up tomorrow and we want the answer tomorrow. But that is not how it works. It's always in God's time, always in God's time, always in God's time. So God's time and our time are not the same watch. They are not on the same clock, and it requires you to be patient before that solution or the answer reveals itself, because sometimes God wants you to go through a journey. So number 5, it allows you to make better decisions. Again, going back to when you slow down and you have to think through it and you have to potentially do things in a sequential order, or maybe just take the opportunity to stop and breathe. It allows you the opportunity to make better decisions. Maybe that wasn't the inventory for you. Maybe that wasn't the niche you're supposed to be selling in. Maybe you're supposed to be selling in a related niche, not that one. Or maybe that's not the relationship you're supposed to be in. Maybe that's not the job you're supposed to be in. Maybe you're supposed to do something different. Maybe instead of selling on a specific platform, you're supposed to have your own store. Or maybe instead of having your own store, maybe you're supposed to be doing affiliate marketing. Again, as part of this journey, you will make changes. You need to allow it the opportunity to work through some of it and not make hasty changes like, okay, well, this week I'm going to try affiliate marketing. That didn't work. Next week I'm going to try print on demand. That didn't work. Okay, next week I'm going to try drop shipping. That didn't work. Nope, that's not enough time to get results. Maybe allow yourself anywhere from 3 to 6 or 9 months before you make a major change in your business model. And also use that to potentially look at some of the decisions you're making in your life. Maybe you need to allow things more time. Again, God's time is not our time. And then number 6 is it helps you to better manage the comparison syndrome. I mean, we do this all our lives, all our lives, all our lives. We compare our kids to other people's kids. Trust me, that is something that I have to remember every day not to do, because I am always so just, I look on Facebook or Instagram and you see the posts of other people and where they are, where their kids are, what their kids are doing. And then I look at my kids and my kids are on a completely different journey. So I have to appreciate the journey and practice patience in my own life. Just know that, those people that you see that are posting about the amount of money that they're making on Amazon or how much they made on eBay, or they're drop shipping these products, or they're doing this on print on demand, or their white label product just launched without a hitch. Like, okay, sometimes those stories that you see on social media are carefully curated. Or if you ever go to a meetup or a conference and you meet with people and they talk about, well, it takes 6 months for this, blah, blah, blah to happen. What you don't know is the long story of that 6 month that conversation that you have with them for like 2 minutes about something taking 6 months. All of maybe the late nights and the long hours and the frustration and the setbacks and the continuing to grind and to persevere and to go back and to revisit and, hire an extra person, putting in extra hours, like all of that. So yeah, maybe it did work out for them in 6 months, but they averaged anywhere from 75 to 80 hours a week just to make that happen. So it sounds great in a water cooler conversation that's short and to the point, but they don't give you the details. So don't compare your results to people that are posting, and don't compare your results to people that are in anything. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's buying a house, getting a car, how your family is just perfect. Like, just don't compare. That's not what you're here to do. You're on your own journey, on your own path, and your results are going to be different. You may have extra steps that you have to go through that somebody else doesn't have to. And somebody else is going to have extra steps that they have to go through that you didn't have to go through. So again, we're all on our different journeys for a reason. And a lot of the times that we're on these journeys, we're on the journey to learn something. So it's really not about the result. It's actually about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's about all the things that you went through to get there. And what are the skills that you developed in that middle part. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you use this to help you on your e-commerce journey and also in different aspects of your life. You can go back and listen to the replay. And come back tomorrow as we continue to talk about this journey. Tomorrow's a weekly planning session, and we're going to continue to talk about some of the skills that we all need to have as e-commerce sellers and also as humans as we try to get better every day. So come back tomorrow. Share this out with a friend. Let them know about this series and this session. So with that, I do invite you to turn up the dial on your e-commerce business and get laser focused by grabbing the 2023 My eCom Planner. You can go to myecomplanner.com. Again, myecomplanner.com. And that's ECOM.com, planner.com. The 2023 planner is out. It is the ultimate e-commerce planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. And it will allow you to get laser focused and get organized in 2023, because 2023 is right around the corner. This month is National Business Planning Month. I think that's what this is called. I probably have the words wrong, so I'll get the words right for tomorrow. But I know that this is like a business planning month. So this is when you start thinking about your 2023 plans. What are the things that you want to do differently? What are the things you want to improve? What are the things you want to change? This is when you have that conversation. So get the My Ecom Planner so that you can develop and document your game plan. I also invite you to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. You can go to ecomsellers.com, click on free resources, and schedule your free 20-minute coaching session. Again, go to ecomsellers.com to schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. And if you need some support on your e-commerce journey, because it is a journey, you can join eCom Sellers Academy. It's terribly affordable. You go to ecomsellersacademy.com right now to join. There are many different perks as an eCom Sellers Academy member. So join us today in eCom Sellers Academy so we can help you on your 2023 e-commerce journey. So with that, we are now ready to go through the daily ecom planning checklist. If you didn't download it, please go download it now. It's over in the eCommerce Planning Facebook group. You can click on the Files section to go download that right now. Afterwards, if you want to do an accountability check-in, you want to chat about your business, you want to ask some questions, you want to continue the conversation about patience and or anything else, then please go to Clubhouse, go to the eCom Sellers Club, go to the eCom Sellers Club, and let's chat about your business after we go through this checklist. So with that, we're going to jump into the daily ecom planning checklist right now. The goal of the daily ecom planning checklist is to help you to be intentional about the actions that you take in your business and in your life, and to be consistent about the actions that you take in your business and in your life. Those two are so important. Making intentional decisions is part of the journey. Doing your best to determine, am I being intentional in making this decision, or am I just making a rash, reactionary, impulsive decision right now? So thinking through that. So there's three major components to the daily ecom planning session. One is what you do the night before. Number two is what you do the morning of, which is right now. And number three is a little bit of advanced planning, thinking through some stuff that's coming up that's going to disrupt your routine and your plan. So the night before, what we encourage you to do is, number one, to go through and review or assess your schedule that you had for the day. What did you get done? What did you not get done? What do you need to carry forward, move on to tomorrow? We are now in December. Dun, dun, dun. So that means that we're in the last month of quarter four. These are things you want to pay attention to as part of your journey. But what did you accomplish on December 1st? And how did it go? Did you meet your objectives? Are there things you need to carry forward to tomorrow? Number two, before you go to bed, update your daily tracking stats. These are your number of sales, your number of listings, new listings that you created, or listings that you reworked, or SKUs, shipments that you sent out. Yesterday, we were very busy with shipments. Me and my kids were working from the time they got home from school until like almost 9 o'clock at night working on shipments. So yeah, it was a lot. What are the things that, tracking those stats on maybe what your expenses were for the day and all of that stuff. So it's inside the My Ecom Planner. You can use that to help you to figure out what are those income producing, income retaining activities that matter on your e-commerce journey. Number three is to review your online calendar for tomorrow. What's coming up? Who do you need to meet with? Do you have doctor's appointments? Where do you need to be? All of those things that are on your online calendar that you just flip through your phone and it's right there. What are those things that are coming up? And then number four, build a draft version of your schedule for tomorrow. You should build it the night before, because as you build it the night before, your subconscious mind is going to work on that schedule in your sleep. and potentially begin the process of solving problems that you had not fully thought through when you drafted it. And that's okay. That's good, because when you wake up in the morning, you can edit the schedule. So if you build it the night before and you kind of look at it and you're reading it, again, your subconscious mind goes to work while you're sleeping. Maybe in the middle of some of those dreams, it's solving some problems. Now, the morning of, right now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review yesterday's activities, yesterday's schedule, yesterday's plan, the things that we got done, the things we didn't get done, and maybe there's an opportunity to learn something from yesterday. Maybe you built an aggressive schedule, and so now you need to get better at building a Wednesday schedule or Thursday schedule. Yeah, Thursday. Um, so we're going to go back and review yesterday and make adjustments where we need to. Maybe there were a couple of things that you left out because you were reviewing the schedule, right before going to bed. And so you were a little tired. So you got an opportunity to go to sleep, wake up. Now you have fresh set of eyes to be able to look at yesterday and to see, were there any opportunities to make some adjustments, changes? What did you learn, so that way you can build a better Thursday schedule in the future? Then number 2 is to review or update your weekly priorities. So since this is the second day of December and you're the end of November, like that's a blended week. So you don't have a full week in December yet. But what was on the agenda for this partial hybrid week, November, December week that you had on the agenda? What were the priorities? What were the habits that you're working to track for the month of December that you need to be mindful of today as you step through the day? And what's on your monthly agenda for December? So if you didn't get a chance to build your monthly plan, I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the session on November the 27th, where we built our monthly plan and put together our quarter review as well. And if you didn't get a chance to build out your weekly plan, go back and listen to the November 26th session where we did our weekly planning session. Both of those will help you because you're transitioning into a new month and the last month of the quarter. Then number 4 is to review your schedule. This is where you're going to make your adjustments, make your changes, make your corrections, make your updates. So review your schedule. Make the changes that you need to make to the schedule so that you're ready to rock and roll. All right. And once you have identified the main thing, the thing that if nothing else goes right today, and for whatever reason you get completely derailed, what's the one thing you want to get done today no matter what? What is that main thing? So go through that process, determine what the main thing is, and make sure that you're ready to execute your day. So read your schedule out loud, speak it into existence, and begin the process of stepping into your schedule. Number 5 is to write a draft version of your schedule for tomorrow. It's just a draft. And while you're at it, you might as well, since tomorrow's Saturday, to write a draft schedule for tomorrow and Sunday and maybe Monday. So write out 3 different drafts so that you kind of are thinking ahead and preparing for the week to come. Last but not least is all of that advanced planning. It's not a lot, it's just a little. It's taking the opportunity to stop and think about what's coming up next week that I probably should work on or focus on this week, or what's coming up 2 weeks from now that I know is going to impact my ability to execute my regular normal schedule. So I want to start making some adjustments now to accommodate those things that are coming up in the future. So what are those things that are coming up? In addition to that, what is coming up from events standpoint? Do you have family members coming in from out of town? Are you planning on a big shipment coming in that you need to make adjustments for the day and just have a alternate schedule that you execute? Are you going to do something with the church? Like maybe there is a Christmas carol, or you guys are going to go and do caroling down the street and sing to people, knock on the doors and sing. Like, what is coming up that's going to impact your routine or your schedule that you're working to continually execute, to be consistent about? Plan for those things and make adjustments now. If you have doctor's appointments that are coming up and you know that's going to take up half of your day, and you know that listing is a crucial part of your business, maybe what you do is, instead of creating 5 listings today, you create 5 and then you do 1 draft one. And you do that every single day until that doctor's appointment comes up, so that way you can actually release listings while you're sitting in the doctor's office and not have to worry about the fact that you didn't get to create new listings today. And maybe, you have a couple of appointments that you need to do that for. Or if you have family members coming in, that's going to impact your ability to work. Do a couple of things in advance, one or two here and there. So then that way you will have the opportunity to continue to be consistent in your business, even in the midst of these disruptions and interruptions. So with that, I hope that's helpful. I hope that blesses you today. I hope you use this information to help you on your e-commerce journey. Again, my name is Nicole Whitlock, and my passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. If that's you, I'm here for you. You can definitely schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources, and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session there. In addition to that, we are still live on Clubhouse. So as we wrap up in the Facebook groups, I just want to say that I hope that you all have an extremely focused, highly productive, and very, very profitable day. If you want to continue the conversation, hop over on Clubhouse. Other than that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.